Well, it's 7 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's webinar on navigating the Rotary Learning Centre. This Zoom webinar this evening will be tag teamed by Rob Wolfson and myself. Rob sits on the District Learning and Development Committee as our lead for promoting My Rotary and the Rotary Learning Centre. And in 14 days, Rob will transition to be the president of the Rotary Club of Calgary-Chinook. So congratulations, Rob. I will start off by giving a quick refresher on the difference between Rotary.org and myrotary.org to start with. Then Rob will take us through a demonstration on really how to simply and quickly sign up to have your own My Rotary account if you don't already have one, and then take us on a live journey of the Rotary Learning Centre, and we'll work on one particular module this evening. But I can tell you that there are well over 450 modules, and they continue to be updated on a fairly regular basis. I will then wrap up this this webinar with a short update on the District Learning and Development Committee and what have been up to and what we're planning to do for next year. During our presentations, everyone but our four panelists will be muted and your video turned off. If you have any questions throughout the session, we ask that you please use the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. These questions will be monitored by District Governor-elect Mary Turner, and we'll try to address them at convenient times throughout the webinar. This webinar is scheduled to last up to an hour, and I'm pleased to announce that 70 people have pre-registered for this session. We're now looking at about 36, so we're about a little over halfway, so hopefully the balance will join us this evening. So a big thank you to everyone who has taken an hour of their time this evening and joined us for tonight's webinar. So let's get started. Maybe. Problems. Bear with me, folks. I'm having trouble with slide advancement again. Rob, do you have your presentation there?
I don't, I can't advance the slides either. Did you want me to just jump into the presentation?
Well, I'm just trying to advance. I don't know why it's not advancing. Let me just. There we go.
There we go.
I don't know why that does to me. So I've already mentioned this, but this is our agenda for this evening. So I will start off with just a brief overview of Rotary.org and the difference with myrotary.org. Rob will take us through signing up for a My Rotary account and navigating the Rotary Learning Centre, which is a fun journey. Lots of opportunity there, and I will give at the end, as I mentioned, a quick Learning and Development Committee update. So www.rotary.org, as probably most of you know, this is Rotary's public-facing website. This is intended to attract information, provide information. It's really anybody that's not associated with Rotary. It's their kind of one-stop shop for information about the organization. You can see there's a section there for members, news and features, the programs that Rotary sponsors or hosts, our primary causes. This is where you get into information like our 6 avenues of service, or sorry, our 6 areas of focus, our 5 avenues of service, and information about Rotary and how to get involved. And it's here they could they could sign up for a membership leads to express an interest in joining a Rotary Club in their area. My.rotary.org, or commonly referred to as myrotary.org, is our website. This is our internal view on the Rotary world, and obviously some information is duplicated here, but this is really, in my opinion, our one-stop shop for all information related to Rotary. I have commonly or jokingly said, if it's not on this website, it probably hasn't been invented yet. So there's tons of information there to get set up, exchange ideas, taking action, a big area on learning and referencing information, management for your club and district, the Rotary Foundation, news and media, and the Member Center. The one I just want to quickly focus on, the one I tend to use most often, is learning and reference. And when you go to once you have your Rotary account, all of this information is available to you. There's even online tools embedded in this site. You may have to log in again to go deeper, such as the Brand Center, Rotary Learning Center, and Rotary Club Central. This is what we're focusing on tonight. Under the Learning and Reference, you'll see the Learning Center. They also have webinars on there that they post when they're running them from throughout the year. So just an unbelievable amount of information. It is a complex site. I wouldn't say it's top shelf when it comes to navigating around it, but I always seem to find the information that I'm looking for by using their search engine. And then once you become familiar with it, time to find information is usually quite a bit quicker. I wanted to share with you a little bit what we're all about in terms of what we're targeting for in terms of my Rotary use within our district. When we started on this about a year ago, we were a little over half of our Rotarians in our district had a My Rotary account, which tells me that they have an interest in learning, they have an interest in having access to information on Rotary. But it begged the question, why shouldn't this be higher? Why shouldn't it be 60% or 70 or even 80% of our Rotarians? Now, we know that some don't always have access or like the technology, but here's a perfect opportunity. So we decided to focus our attention on really trying to promote the value of having a My Rotary account in terms of learning and personal growth development, but also the importance of trying to grow a district that's more knowledgeable about the organization. So we're really, we haven't set our target for next year, but we have moved up slightly over the past year. Just a quick overview. It doesn't show all the clubs, but obviously the blue bars are the ones that have their percentage of members who are enrolled in have a My Rotary account. And we've got some clubs that are up in the high 70s. We got some clubs that are down below 20%. So we would like to hopefully help by bringing awareness to all the Rotarians that this resource is there for you. It's easy to access once you get set up on the My Rotary account. And it's really, you can drill down as deep as you want in terms of the information that you need to answer your questions, help you with planning, taking action, managing your club, et cetera, et cetera. So we would like to see that obviously a higher percentage of Rotarians in our district using this incredible tool. So I'd like to now pass it over to Rob, who will quickly walk you through the setup for My Rotary accounts. Fairly simple. Rob, please.
Yeah, so Rick, I'll have you just navigate the pages for me initially until I go live. And I just wanted to give a quick shout out and hello to two special members in my Rotary Club of Calgary Chinook, Anthony and Bev Tonkinson. It's actually their 42nd wedding anniversary today, and they're spending it on this webinar with us. So I told them they were crazy to find something more fun to do but I also thank them. So appreciate it. So yeah, it's an amazing tool, the My Rotary account, the site. It is a separate login to Club Runner, and that's why we wanted to make sure people knew how to log in. And we thought we would walk people through live, and we thought we'd do this webinar because it is so simple. It's so easy. Once you create your My Rotary account, you can delve deeper into the member portion of the site. That's not the club, the public facing, just rotary.org site. There's all of the member features. And so it's so simple. So as you can see on this first page, if you don't have a My Rotary account, you do need to create one. So it's your typical click the yellow sign in the middle. It's going to ask you just for your information, create a password. And then once you've done that, obviously, as all things, write it down so you don't forget your passwords. But there's always that remember me or forgot password if you need to reset it. I had to do that once, admittedly, myself. I forgot what I put as my password. We have so many passwords these days. So I wrote it down, and it's so simple. And once it remembers you, like everything else, the cookies on your computer, so it saves. So it is a separate login to your regular Club Runner. So, but it is really easy to create it once you join and click that yellow button. Next page, Rick. So you can access the Learning Center from where Rick showed you under on that link. There's also another link here too, where if you click, once you sign in, I've already signed in, but there's going to be in the top bar here above the join and donate, it's going to say sign in. So that's where you click there to sign in. It doesn't say it now because I've already logged in. But then under this member center, it's going to open up another tab. And then under here on the left-hand side, under online tools, it says Learning Center. So this is another area to access the Learning Center as well. So there's either the learning and reference, and then you go to the right side, where Rick showed previously, or there's under the member center on the left portion where it says Learning Center, but very easy to find. So just let your mouse, and I'll show you once we get to the live session, live portion, but just let your mouse hover over member center, then the rest of the drop downs open up, then you just move over and click on the Learning Center there. Next page, Rick. So next page. So once you're in the Learning Center, this will be more obvious again once we get into the live session. There's basically, there's a few different ways to access it. You can either just click on the top left here, there's a category. So if you want to search by membership or by diversity or by leadership or by president. So basically you choose the type of course that you're looking for, and it'll open up all those courses. There's a search tab here where you can actually just type in what you're searching for. So if you just wanted to go membership, then it'll open all that up, or you wanted to go foundation, it's going to open up all those courses. Or you can actually scroll through, and as you can see, all of the courses are in many different languages, so you can leave it as is, or you can actually filter to the language of your preference. If you do that, there's going to be arrows, and you can just click the arrows, and those will navigate through, and it's all done alphabetically. So there's many different ways to actually search through the different types of courses, but there are many different courses. So I would recommend trying to do a filter, but if you're the first time you're in there, it is neat to go through and look at all the different courses that they do offer. Next page, Rick. So the best way which I've recommended all of my club members to join and to start is first familiarizing yourself by going to the Getting Started with the Learning Center. It's a real quick 10-minute tutorial, and it really tells you all of the benefits that you can find within the Learning Center. It tells you how to navigate, how to get on. So it's a real quick and easy beginner course, and it tells you all about the Learning Center. And then I think the next great one, which we're actually going to walk through today a little bit, is Rotary Basics. It's also really quick as well. It's only about 50 minutes, but it's an awesome refresher. Whether you're a new member, whether you've been in a Rotary for 30 years, it doesn't matter. It really reinforces why we're Rotarians, what we get out of Rotary, what Rotary International is all about. And there's a little quiz at the end too to test your knowledge, which always is good and bad when you have to do a little quiz. And I'm a 5-year member now, and I know I'm still just starting the learning curve. But I thought I knew a lot about already in my 5 years about Rotary. Then you take the quiz and you realize that even what you think you know, you don't really know. So it's kind of fun to take the quiz. But it's a great, I think, a second course to do, again, because I think we always need reminding everything that Rotary does well in the world and why we're members. So that's a great second one. That's one that we're going to walk through today. So the next one, Rick, and I believe I'm going to go live after this, but I'm just go to the next one quickly, Rick. Is it not working? That's okay. So I'm going to go, I'm going to share my screen now, so bear with me. Sorry, I tried to log it in advance. There we go. Okay, so Rick, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. So this is when you just go to www.rotary.org. This is the main page. I'm sure we've all been on the RI site before. So as I said, there's you just go here for members and you go to My Rotary. So here you go. So I've already been logged in, so just remember, because I logged in earlier, so it still has my login there. So you would normally need to click here just in the top blue banner where you would need to log in. And if you don't have a My Rotary account, it'll open up that one window I showed you in that first slide where you need to create your My Rotary account. But once you've done that, so again, hover over My Member Center, just click it. There you go, hover over it, and it opens up all the other various drop downs. So sometimes it's a bit sensitive, but just drag over, open up the Learning Center. It takes a second just to load up all the courses. And it's really that easy. So once you create your My Rotary account, just those 2 clicks, Member Center, Learning Center, and here we go, we're into the Rotary Learning Center. So as I said, you can filter by language if you want. So you just click the filter here and you can check which language you wish. So I can highlight just English, and then it'll load up all of the courses in English, so you don't have all the other options there. Again, just takes a second, and they're all alphabetized. So I'm going to deselect that just for a second. And you can go by categories, so leadership, membership, public image, training. You know, under leadership, there's a whole bunch of different options here. You can search. So for example, say if I wanted to learn about foundation, just type in foundation here. You know, click the search, and then it'll pull up everything to do with foundation. There's also let me just close that out. You can also, as I mentioned, there's these arrows down here, so you can just search by the arrows too if you want to just go back and forth and navigate this way as well. So there's many different ways, and they're all alphabetized, so that's a trick as well too. So they're, but if you don't know the title, obviously it sometimes takes a bit longer to go this way. So then I would recommend just searching by which category you're looking for. So fundraising, for example. Then it opens up all the courses under fundraising. So this is a great tool, especially if you have, say, you know, as Rick mentioned, I'm becoming president in a couple of weeks of my club. So I'm in the process now of forming our new directorships and committees. So I'll encourage the directors and the committee members to go, if you're involved in fundraising, go do this course. If you're going to be on the membership committee, you know, go do that course. So this is definitely great for members to get ideas for their new directorship or their new committees that they're about to join. Maybe you've been a member for a long time, but you haven't really worked in international community service. So then you can go look up that type of stuff. So again, it's really, there's tons of information for every Rotarian out there. For sure, great for new members as well, of course. All right, so let's do Rotary Basics. Whoops, I have to spell it right. So as you can see, I've already enrolled in it and I've completed it, but let's start it again here. So it's really neat too, because it'll open up here and it'll tell you the different modules that are involved in Rotary Basics, and you just click it and it'll load the course. So most of the courses are going to be in this type of format. So it's going to be a combination of learning by reading and also by video. So we'll talk about the foundation a little bit in this course, as obviously we know. So I'm going to go to, sorry, it's kind of, the neat thing, as you can see on the left here, I've already done the course, so this is interesting, but I was playing around in the course just for one of our recent club meetings, just to show one of the videos while we're on Zoom. And so it's kind of, because I was kind of playing around within the course, it looks like on the left-hand side I haven't completed it, but this is neat because some of the courses are 50 minutes, some of the courses are 7 hours. You definitely don't need to sit down for 7 hours and plug away at a Learning Center course, but if you close it, you can reopen it and it's going to start you where you left off again. So you can plug away and do it in sections. You don't need to do it all at once, for sure. You know, obviously attention span, you want to be doing it while you're paying attention. I do find sometimes, even myself, you know, you get sidetracked and you start doing it and you're really attentive when you start, and then you start losing focus a bit later on. So just close it, you know, and come back when, you know, when your mind is fresh again, and they'll just leave you where you left off. All of these are all go at your own pace. You can do it in the comfort of your own home. So especially as we're not doing as many in-person meetings while we're just getting over our quarantine here with the pandemic, it's a great way to stay engaged with Rotary and keep your learning and keep your interest peaked as well. So I've been plugging away at different courses as well. So let's start this here.
Rob, can I just ask a quick question, just
Yes.
so going past the topic sections there. Under service, is that where you would find youth services?
That's a great question, Mary. I'm not sure. Let's go look.
Before you get too far along, I didn't want to distract
Yeah.
you, but it seemed to be timely.
Oh, why is it not loading?
Oh.
I may need to go back in again. Maybe I can't get back.
Well, maybe we can take a look later.
Yeah, I'll take a look later for sure.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks.
Sorry, guys. I must, sometimes you can't back out of the sites. But it is really, I've meant to back out before and I've closed it right down. So it is really, once you've logged in, it's really simple to get back in again. So it is really user-friendly that way. I'll be able to look here, Mary, because I'm logging back in, so.
These courses are updated fairly regularly, I would think, too.
They are, and for example, they just loaded 3 brand new courses just yesterday related to Toastmasters. So definitely there's new content being updated regularly as well. So when I just typed in youth, those are the 2 that came up, Mary. There's a mentoring and there's a protecting youth program as well. The other thing I was going to mention too is here's your dashboard. So if you start a course, you can just go into your dashboard and it tells you which ones you've completed, where if you've left off on any of them, etc. So the dashboard's really handy as well too. So you can kind of tell if you can favorite some, you can favorite different courses if you really like them and you want to remember them for the future. It tracks your activities. So there's and that's just in the top left-hand corner here is your dashboard. So I'm going to go back into the basics here. So as I mentioned, most of the courses is a combination of learning and video. Some have more video, some have more reading. So again, welcome to Rotary. You have joined, I'm not going to read the whole course to you, but I'll just do a couple slides just to show you what it's like. You have joined a network of 1.2 million members who share your passion for making a difference. As a member, you'll not only have opportunities to make lasting change in communities around the world, but you'll also grow personally and make lifelong friendships along the way. And then watch the video.
Welcome to Rotary. With your unique skills and perspective, you are joining a global network of problem solvers, drawn together by a desire to make a difference. Together, we can be bolder. When you share your ideas and connect with others, it's not just your community that benefits. You'll grow as a leader and feel a shared sense of purpose that comes from finding lasting solutions to big problems. Get involved in a way that's meaningful to you. Find a mentor. Sign up for a training. Volunteer in a service project. Or attend a global event. You are now connected to 1.2 million people of action who unite to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. Welcome to Rotary.
So once you watch the video, just click continue. And it should take you to the next page. There we go. So then you just navigate through. So it's really simple. Lots of great color, lots of great pictures, and it's amazing. So it's very easy to navigate through page by page. Again, you can just and then hit continue, goes to the next page. You know, it does make you, sometimes there's different slides where you have to click on and then things will flip behind, and it makes you read all of the different topics before you continue on to the next page. Again, I know I'm going through a little bit quick just for time, but I want you guys to do this on your own anyways. So you click through. One thing which there's a video here which I love about our causes, which I wanted to show as well.
A single act of good can go a long way. It can cross oceans, cure disease, and create equality. As members of Rotary, we are people of action, and our actions have the power to speak loud and clear. We're changing lives through our vision and unwavering commitment to fighting disease and bringing hope to those who need it most. Rotary's progress in polio eradication is an enduring example of our success. Building a global infrastructure and activating a network of volunteers capable of connecting the right people and inspiring action. Leveraging that success and the power of partnership, our global grants provide access to equipment, training, education, and vaccinations to ensure safe births and keeping kids healthy. Rotary Club members unite to create a world where our disease prevention and treatment programs aren't just changing lives, they're saving lives, providing surgeries and health assessments through practical and compassionate treatment. We're educating families and mobilizing communities to treat illnesses and prevent disease, engaging local health workers, and working with partners with expertise in cancer, heart disease, and diabetes care. Your contribution to the Rotary Foundation keeps families connected to a world of good. Every gift is an action that speaks volumes across clinics, communities, and continents. Learn how you can support the cause that means the most to you.
Right, so of course, naturally, the next slide is the foundation. So it talks about our foundation.
Our vision for the Rotary Foundation began 100 years ago. At Rotary's 1917 convention, President Arch Klump proposed an endowment for doing good in the world. His dream expanded the reach of Rotary far beyond the club. A contribution of $26.50 launched our foundation's endowment. A century later, we've spent more than $3 billion on humanitarian efforts worldwide.
Rotary project anywhere in the world always started out with one person who had an idea. And then they were able to grow and develop that idea by using that powerful network of Rotary to really change the world.
We are active. We are effective. We are really alive.
Our foundation has always been dedicated to improving lives. The first grant provided aid to disabled children. Today, we are on the verge of ending polio.
Et lorsque je vois une mère me sourire après avoir donné le vaccin à son enfant, cela comble ma journée de joie. Parce que j'ai la conviction que cet enfant ne sera jamais handicapé.
Without Rotary, this polio campaign wouldn't be anywhere. And the incredible effort that's been made from the very beginning is really unprecedented.
In the wake of a world war, we made a global impact by funding scholarships for international study. Today, we train the next generation of global peacemakers.
The Rotary Peace Fellowship takes people who have a desire to learn and gives them that opportunity.
Good intentions alone are not sufficient. This is one of the most important things an international organization like Rotary should do.
We all see this as a passion. We've got to do something for change. Not only for young people today, but of tomorrow.
Rotary is dedicated to personal and professional connections, so we created Group Study Exchange to build international understanding. Today, our foundation supports vocational training teams around the globe.
You turn the dial until this color matches this color.
The PTT program allows people to bring specific skills to improve another country.
Rotarians wanted to broaden their impact, so our foundation began funding their projects. A decade later, we began supporting larger projects to address health, hunger, and other humanitarian needs. Today's large-scale grants are measurable and sustainable. They allow us to tackle humanity's greatest challenges. Years ago, Arch Klump had a vision. His vision has become our legacy.
The Rotary Foundation is a great tool to transform the world.
That's what Rotary is all about. Vision to see, faith to believe, and courage to act.
The Rotary Foundation. We are doing good in the world. Let's continue for the next 100 years.
Perfect. So just a very inspiring video. I just wanted to make sure I shared those videos while I was going through on the course. And as you can see in the top left-hand corner, it tracks how much you've done through the course. Obviously, the shorter courses are pretty easy, but once you get into a longer course, it's good to see, track your progress, and of course, test your knowledge at the end. And once you are completed, you can actually go in and you can print, you can download a little certificate, save it as a PDF or print it out, whichever, and it just shows you which course that you've completed as well too. So it's kind of neat that you can just save it into on your computer or print it and save it in a file if you wish. So it's pretty neat that they do these certificates as well. So it's a, tons of great courses on there. Navigate through, and even when you're going to, I'm just going to exit out of my, close this. Just going to go back if I can to my dashboard. So when you're in the course catalog here, And filter. Go by English. Say you want to see, for example, I'm just picking one at random, building a diverse club. Click on it, and then it tells you about the course. So you can always click on any course without actually doing it. You know, just seeing what modules are there. You know what the course is about. Take this course, learn how to diversify your club so it better reflects your community, increases your club's capacity, and makes it more attractive to prospective members. You click on the content, and there's the modules, right? So, and you can see there's a couple downloads. There's an every course does have an evaluation, so it just so you can actually rate the course, give them feedback, the difficulty level, you know, how you found out about it, etc. Unfortunately, every course you have to do a little survey at the end. You know, everything they ask you to do a survey. I'm not a big fan of that, honestly, but obviously feedback is good for them to make it better for us. And you can see here on the right-hand side, because you clicked on building a diverse club, you can see other courses that you know maybe have a similar theme that may interest you as well. So it's a really great resource, really simple to use. Our ask is just go on, try it out, navigate, play around in it. It's so simple, and obviously tell your fellow club members that are not on this call to how easy it was, and especially as you know, you get more involved in whatever you're doing in your club. There's so many great tools on here. Especially, I mean, I'm doing a lot of strategic planning now with our club. So I was playing around just on the membership side, and it was kind of neat to see kind of things that we're doing that are ideas, you know, for attracting new members and building diversity and engaging new members in our club. So that's one of our focuses is going to be in our strategic planning for this year. So it was neat to see how many things that we've already been doing, but also there's tons of ideas out there. So why reinvent the wheel when there's all these other great concepts that other Rotarians around the world have built these, have put into these courses. So there's so much information, as Rick mentioned. So take your time, navigate through it. And Rick, if you want to go back to you, I just have my contact information there because I'm done the live demonstration. So you can just show my contact information in your presentation, and then we'll go back to you.
Thanks, Rob. I wonder, Mary, are there some questions that we could direct at Rob at this point?
Yes, thanks very much, Rick. Just a couple that came up during Rob's presentation. Are we able to know when there's new courses that are loaded onto the site, Rob, or how do you know when there's new content that's been loaded?
Rick, maybe I'll get you to answer that question.
Yeah, that's a very good question. How I learn about it is I subscribe to a monthly newsletter from Rotary International called Training Talk, and there they list all of the new courses. They quite often let you know when a particular course that's been on there has been updated, and certainly when a new course has gone on. This is where we just recently learned about the 3 Toastmaster courses that were just loaded onto Rotary Learning Centre. I think it was yesterday or the day before. I know that there are plans that it'll be automatically uploaded on the website, like on the homepage of My Rotary, when there's supposed to be some new courses added to it. But I don't think that is yet alive. But I can tell you.
Christine here. I just, in the chat room, I put in the learning and development learning@rotary.org link, and that's where you can register to receive those monthly Training Talk newsletters. So hopefully that will help.
Yeah, what I was wanting just to point out that my understanding is that when there's a new one uploaded, it'll automatically go on to the My Rotary homepage as a flash, as an alert. That's what they said about a year ago, but I do not think it's live yet.
Thanks, Rick. And I guess they're refreshing those courses all the time, so that ones that become a little stale and outdated are replaced with the fresher ones, are they, or do you know?
Yes.
That? Okay.
That's the plan, yeah.
Another question that came in, can we stream the Welcome to Rotary video? That one that you just played, Rob, a little while ago. It's very impactful and be great for recruitment opportunities, or even just encouraging brand new Rotarians. Can we stream that outside of the Learning Centre platform?
To be honest, I have not tried. Now, it's very simple, obviously, in a Zoom environment, because you can share your screen if you're confident on Zoom to, just like we did now, have it loaded up, share your screen as a Rotarian, be logged in, show that. But I've not tried just outside of a Rotarian environment. So what I can do is I'll look in the chat and see who sent that message, and I can try myself personally, and then let them know the answer if it's possible or not outside of the Rotary login environment.
A second option could be for you to go on My Rotary, and I think it's under the Brand Center. There's a section on webinars and there's a section on videos. It's quite likely that they'll have a lot of those video clips loaded in that area as well, and you might be able to. I've shown videos, not so much from the Learning Centre platform, but from My Rotary. I have been able to download videos and stream them.
Yeah, and also too, I was chatting with Rick before we logged into the session today. Even like myself on the Zoom, if you have the capability to do the backgrounds, that's where I got the digital background today. It was on the Brand Center on the Rotary site as well, on the Rotary.org Brand Center.
Which is another good takeaway from tonight.
Any other questions, Mary?
No, I don't think so. I think that's all for now, actually.
I saw one question.
Sorry, can I just, one that was asked was, can you access My Rotary from the Rotary.org account? Yes, you can, but we were separating the Club Runner login. It is a separate login from the Rotary. You can access My Rotary through the Rotary.org account. However, to keep it simple, just go myrotary.org, and it's just quicker. That's all.
Yeah, and you should be able to use your old password. If you had an old My Rotary password, you may need to click that forget password link if you can't remember your password. But if it doesn't work, obviously just start from scratch and just create a new Rotary.org account. Again, it is different than your Club Runner account that you get into the Club Runner on your own club website for your Club Runner. So it is different than that. But if you had a previous My Rotary account in the past, it should still be active. But you can always click forgot password or create a new account if it's not working.
The My Rotary, the website. What we've shared with you this evening is the proverbial tip of the iceberg. There's so much information there to digest. It's overwhelming, I'll tell you, the first time you go navigating through the website. And sometimes you'll find you can't find right away, but it's from regular use and familiarization that I find that the more I use it, the more I find information that I'm looking for much more quickly. So I would encourage you to, find some time and just go in. Don't try to digest the whole site in the first sitting, but rather just pick off little bits and pieces there and learn. Another thing I would like to suggest is as an idea, a learning opportunity, think about your club meetings. Maybe you have a meeting where somebody that was supposed to speak can't or didn't, or you're looking for a good content to present. Why not go into the Rotary Learning Centre, select one of those modules that are less than 30 minutes in length, and go through it and learn together as a club. I think it just strengthens the club and the membership. No further questions, Mary, that we can move on now? Okay, thank you. I just want to do a quick update on learning and development, our committee here in the district. I shared this with all of our assistant governors last Saturday at a AG forum, and I thought I should, you folks that were on here this evening, I would share with you a little bit about what we're all about. 3 years ago, it used to be called a training committee. I felt that that kind of sometimes turns people off, including myself. And so the district made the decision to change it to learning and development. And we really see ourselves here to help strengthen both the club and the district vibrancy by really providing all of our Rotarians with innovative learning and development resources that will hopefully help enhance participant engagement, expand our reach, and increase our impact. And these are 3 of 4 strategic priorities that is in our Rotary International's current strategic plan. So who are our target audiences? And we've defined it sort of 3 ways. First of all, the Rotary family. When I say Rotary family, we have to include, or we must include, Rotaractors and Interactors, because they're hopefully our feeder organizations that we can grow our membership and diversify our membership. So it's targeted, as Rob has said, for both new members who are really hungry for new information, but also our veteran members who really want to refresh their learning or learn a new area in a different subject matter. Club leadership teams, you've probably noticed over the last 2 years that we've kind of moved away from what we used to call PETS, President-Elect Training Seminar, to now calling them Club Leadership Team Training Workshops or Training Webinars. It's really designed to try to change the culture of the club from more or less, I think, expecting that the president does it all, to building a teamwork approach where the club executive, or some would call it the directors, the president-elect, the key positions within the club, work together as a team. And of course, we've had many Rotarians who maybe don't necessarily see themselves in that position today, but maybe are aspiring leaders. So these club leadership team training workshops are really designed for them. And hopefully over time, we will change the culture to a more teamwork-based approach for planning, organization, and club operation. And then the same with the district leadership team, which we would define as our board of 12, our 16 assistant governors, and our about 10 committees and subcommittees and representatives and coordinators that basically are there for a purpose to serve the clubs and to serve Rotarians in the district. So essentially, we're talking about a target audience of all of us. It's the big we. How will we reach our target audiences? Well, we've already talked this evening about My Rotary and the Rotary Learning Centre, but let's not also forget that we have our district club runner and most recently our People of Action website. These two are a resource, a wealth of information to help you on many fronts of your learning requirements. Thing that I want to spend a couple of minutes on here this evening is our plan to move ahead with district developed, district delivered webinars like this evening. We've had on our books for about a year now plans to kind of move in this direction. But I guess if there was one opportunity that came out of the COVID pandemic, is the fact that this has accelerated our plans. And so we're moving ahead with a schedule of webinars. And of course, when we can, where we can safely, we will continue to have face-to-face workshops regionally in areas where it makes sense and where we can get the maximum participation from our Rotarians. We had a few priorities for this past year, and one was to continue on our journey to enhance our club leadership training so that more clubs leadership teams are really engaged in the learning process, and hopefully that will result in stronger, more vibrant clubs. District leadership training, these 3 groups, we've got to do, we feel, a better job of communicating, connecting, and collaborating with each other, and working as a solid unit. They're really ultimately to support each other, but to support the clubs and the Rotarians in our district. Going ahead, we'd like to increase the participation in the Rotary Learning Centre. I took a look every Monday morning. Several of us get a report from the Learning Centre people, and I took a look at Monday's report, and I'm happy to say that we have 35 out of our 48 clubs who have at least one Rotarian in their club sign on to the Rotary Learning Centre, and a total of 110 individual Rotarians are signed in now, and in various stages. Many have completed the courses, some of them have enrolled, and some of them are in progress. But there's lots of opportunity here for it to grow in terms of the number of clubs. I personally would like to see all 48 of our clubs using the Rotary Learning Centre for their to meet their learning requirements, and I would like to see a higher percentage of Rotarians using it on an individual basis, because as Rob has said, it's such a great tool that you can do it whenever you have the time to really spend some time learning.
So Rick, can I just add a comment there, just while we're talking about the numbers quickly? Just a good segue. I was going to mention this at the end anyway. So there's actually, I know you mentioned the numbers at the beginning of the webinar. We're actually up 3% from where we were a year ago, which is baby steps. I mean, we're at 56% of the members who actually have a My Rotary account, but I'm sure so many people don't know about the Learning Center. So of the 755 members that have a My Rotary account, 991 of them, you know, of the 1,755 members of the district, 991 of them have a My Rotary account. But that also means that 764 of them do not. So we have lots of runway here to educate our members about this amazing resource. As we've often talked about, it's one of the best kept secrets. Why reinvent the wheel to enhance the learning and development of our clubs when the wheel is already there?
I know that Christine mentioned in the, thanks Rob, in the chat earlier that a lot of our dues increases that took place over the last few years have really been all about building this website, this information, the online tools like Rotary Club Central, which is great for club and district planning, as well as the brand center. You know, you can, if you want to build a brochure or PowerPoint presentation, just go to the brand center. There's lots of good examples there for downloading. So there's just, you know, the more that people get onto the My Rotary account, have their own account, I think the more that they'll learn what's available and make good use of it. Another priority for going forward is to strengthen our club and district strategic planning. So we've brought on a new person into our Learning and Development Committee. Karen Blewett will be joining us, and she'll be helping us. She's got some really exciting ideas as to how we can support the clubs and the district with strategic planning virtually. And last but not least, the board, we felt that the board needed more enhanced onboarding and orientation, and we have a session planned for the 25th of July with the board, and basically building things around teamwork, getting to know each other, the importance of planning and priority setting. And so we're looking forward to, that'll be facilitated by a third party. These webinars, as I mentioned, we had been looking at starting these up, probably going back at least a year, looking at ways of increasing Rotarian participation in our learning and development programs. And we think webinars like this evening are a good approach. We're seeing so far, we've delivered. We had the vulnerable sector one. This evening. We've done some training through club leadership team training 1 and 2 sessions, and our thoughts are that we would run these probably Tuesday or Wednesday evenings from 7 to 8 p.m. When we did a cut on when Rotary clubs are currently meeting, these 2 evenings are the ones that would interfere the least with people having to attend their own Rotary Club. We would plan to deliver them through Zoom webinars like this evening, and we're looking at doing them potentially frequently every month. And so I've just put together a draft schedule. It's only draft at this point. We're looking at having a webinar on to help clubs and planning district committees with virtual fundraising ideas. We've got some ideas on who we can bring in there. We've asked Sadia Khan, who is our chair of the District Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee, to help us there. Neil and Dan will be asked to put together a one on vibrant clubs and what we know through our surveys, what really helps with club vibrancy. An annual event, the Grants Qualification Workshop, would fall under this category, under Kurt Kowalczuk's leadership, and then we have 2 others on community service and community assessments. And my hope is that sometime in the first quarter of our next Rotary year, we'll do a very small survey to the membership to really ask you what you feel you need in the way of learning. And these are things that we can either deliver through the Rotary Learning Centre or potentially through some of our own district-developed, district-led webinars. I just wanted to show you the org chart for the committee here. So it's the district governor, in fact, is ex officio of all district committees, so they're busy people. I will be chairing the committee. This will be my 3rd year chairing the Learning and Development Committee, and it's been a real pleasure to work with the team that I've been working with so far and will continue to work with. You can see Rob Wolfson's name there. He's leading our Learning Center, My Rotary project there. And Steve Levitt will be handling club leadership training, District Governor-elect Martin Purnell, district leadership training. We are looking for someone to help us with the learning webinars to kind of coordinate that activity. And we've got a couple of an interactor and a rotaractor to help us because we consider them part of our Rotary family and want to ensure that if they have training or learning needs, that we can also, through this committee, satisfy them and deliver that to them. And then the last was Karen Blewett. She's our district and club planning liaison, and she'll be starting with us on July 1st and helping us build a strategic or club plan strategy for the district. And I cannot go out and say enough about Charlene Bearden as our district administrator. She's always behind the scenes, always supporting all of our committees and the clubs, and she's there to serve as well. So I have to thank all of these people for their support, and I'm really excited about the direction that the Learning and Development Committee is moving forward on. So with that, Mary, I guess I'll come back. Is there any other questions we can address?
Just one more to look at, Rick, and I'm not sure if you can give us any tips on clarifying between the Rotary.org site and the myrotary.org site. How can we better understand which is which? Any tips?
Well, I guess the operative word for me is my, and that's my site. That's our site. That allows us, we get more in depth and can drill down a lot deeper in terms of information than the regular Rotary site. The Rotary site, maybe an analogy could be that, well, maybe it's not quite a good analogy, but think of the Rotary International site, which is really for general public that wants to know something about the information, or when they Google Rotary, they may have some questions. But if they're, it's their portal of entry, in fact, for if they want to take advantage of the membership leads program we have, they can sign on there. They fill out a very quick pile of information. It's filtered and it's directed to the district governor, the assistant governors, and the membership lead for each district where that postal code or zip code came out of. And so it's a good way of, I think we probably get about 100 membership leads every year through that program, and that all comes through Rotary.org. My Rotary, again, it's our site. It's for us. It's there as a resource for information, education, inspiration, how to manage grants. It's got tons of statistic, market research. It can help you. There's Rotary Showcase, which clubs and districts can share their projects, their stories around the world. There's just it's an unbelievable resource. That's all I can say. I don't know if that helped answer it, but think of my Rotary as our Rotary.
Yeah, and I think it's similar to, like, every club has their own club individual website, but then Club Runner is just for members behind the scenes. So Rotary.org is for the public. My Rotary is for the members.
Good. Anything else?
No further questions at this stage, Rick. Thank you.
Well, I see we're right on time here, so I have to thank Rob for being my co-host, Mary for tracking the questions, Christine for being here and adding additional insight into from her perspective as district governor. Christine, what, 13 days left, eh? So I'd like to thank everyone here, including those who participated this evening. I haven't looked at the final number that signed on, but we were close to 50, I think, at one point. So again, thanks for spending an hour with us this evening. I hope you found it valuable. I hope that you learned a few things from tonight's session. And I ask you to, as I say, a lot of things I say nowadays, please stay safe, stay well, stay connected, because that's how Rotarians can best serve their communities. So thank you very much. Have a good evening. Yes, Rob?
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you as well for organizing this, Rick. Thanks everyone for taking time on a rainy Wednesday night. I'm sure the rain probably helped us a little bit. I put in the chat there, but I just wanted to say if anyone wants me to attend one of their club Zoom meetings, or obviously in person when we're able to do so, please just reach out to me. I put my email and phone number in the chat. It was also in the presentation, which I know will be disseminated afterwards. So just let me know. I'm happy to come facilitate a portion of your club program, you know, if you want to help get your members onto the Learning Center. As you can see, it's so simple. We just have to let the people know.
And I'd like to add my thank you and appreciation to Rick and Rob for hosting this tonight. Really excited about what's coming up with the Learning and Development Committee in Mary's year. And I appreciate all of you for attending this evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.